What up? What up? What's good? What's good? What's good? Yo, let me take this damn label off. All right. Yeah. So y'all done read the label, y'all read the caption. So we about to have us an interesting show tonight. But welcome back to the Men Like Us podcast. It is a podcast made for men by men. This podcast is aimed at men who are attracted to women of trans experience. So, ladies, if you're watching this, appreciate you showing up. But as always, we're gonna give our perspective as men, and the way we're gonna have our conversation is gonna be in a way that's palatable to the male ear. So, if something hits you wrong, please don't blow up. Just stick with us. This is my official whole ass trigger warning that I give all the time. So, have to do that traditional trigger warning just to let people know we gonna keep it real here. So we don't play community politics. We ain't here for respectability politics. We gonna tell it like it is. So, before I got started with all this today, I was kicking it with my main man Trail. I'm bringing him on here. What's
Yo,
going on, Trail?
what up?
Yo, man. So, man, actually, we was talking before the show. I don't know how we got on it, but we was talking about Facebook groups. And actually, I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring on our other guest because he's a part of this too. So, what's going on,
Yo,
Sammy?
yo, what it do? What it do?
Main man here. So, before the show started, we was talking about these Facebook groups, and like, I ain't gonna lie, I rejoined the T Valley group because I ain't gonna lie, I was a little curious, like, what's going on in there now? I remember what it used to be. I remember how people
Yeah,
was just like leaving it in droves. I couldn't keep people up in there.
yeah.
And but it was just like, it's just that it's the experience of being a trans attracted or transamorous man, and you're joining these trans Facebook groups, and you get
They
in
kicked
there,
me
you
out.
uh there's that too. When you get in these groups, you want to tell a little bit of truth, or I'll say like this: I don't have any problem with women, telling men about themselves. And it's times where brothers get in there like, "Hey, man, why do y'all do this?" or whatever. I don't know if it's that antagonistic, but eventually, guys are going to catch something that's, they're going to catch a contradiction, a logic error, whatever. And it's like, yeah, that ain't girls. They don't like that in them groups. It is not well received. So it's kind of tough and a little bit of a jungle in there. And
Hmm.
Troy, what was you saying about that? About the groups, like how in terms of who leads them and stuff?
um, Depends on like when a girl like a lot of these groups, they had a lot of the girls be like admins and leading the groups, so they try to like control every narrative in there. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Everything that you say, they try to control it. Like, say for example, if a guy go in on if a girl go in on a guy in a group, that's cool, that's acceptable. But if a guy go in on a girl, he's dead wrong. They want to kick him out. They want to block him. They want to talk junk about him. It's crazy. It's bugged out. And I noticed that a lot.
uh, well, I mean, we've been able to, find some sort of, I don't know. I've been able to exist in some groups that had like a dual leadership. And I'm
Right.
bringing this up because it's the guys, it's plenty of trans attracted transgender guys like, man, how do I engage with people? How do I just, dip my toe in there and start meeting people, whatever else? And Facebook groups are a really good way to do that.
It
Yeah.
is.
To get yourself around some folks and get to hear some things. And a lot of women share their experiences in those groups, and it's good to read it and receive it and listen to it. But fellas, you gotta know what you're walking into with some of these groups,
I was
so
about to
just
say, yeah,
know
you walking into where some mines out there on that landfill.
it really is. It's all
Yeah,
parts of the community, and all different kinds of individuals. And
yep,
but I will say there's I found longevity in groups where there are one or two guys that are admins on a group. Like
yeah,
when it's one or two guys that's an admin on a group, like the group doesn't sink to that level where everybody kind of is like super toxic, and it's just like a sick feeling in a group. It's just not comfortable, because at that point people are trying to be respectful and not trying to take things to a certain point. But I don't know. That's my experience. What do y'all feel about that?
I do feel like having the fellas on there, like you said, as an admin, bring some balance. You know what I mean? Because like you said, a lot of times in those groups, like you said, if the admin are all women, you better come in, be respectful, and not just necessarily just be respectful, but don't say the wrong thing to the wrong person, or you finna get bashed, you finna get banned, you finna get called a chaser, you know, all of that stuff just because somebody wanted to holler at you and you weren't trying to holler back. Now you the bad guy.
Uh-oh. Not the D Valleys. Brianna said they should call it D Valley. Oh Lord. But we were just BSing about this, we were just bullshitting about this kind of stuff because it was just funny, earlier. We was like, man, wait, yeah, that is how it is in the groups. And we just guys, a lot of us have the same experiences in some of these groups. But I will say on the flip side of it, I have been kicked out of white-led transgender groups for saying essentially it's a no if you say anything about transamorous. They were like, that don't exist. You shouldn't be wanting to date trans women, specifically trans women are women, and you're like, they'll go in. It's a whole thing. Like if you mention anything about transamorous, trans attracted, it's a wrap. They do not accept it. And it's just not pretty. So I've been kicked out of a couple of groups on that junk where I'm just like, okay, I'm just trying to talk and be understood here and share. But so anywho, that was our silly preliminary talk because we were just kicking it, before I went, maybe let's just talk about this on the show. Let's just go live now and just talk about it. So I don't know if we got some other guests that are ready to go because I don't see them ready. They just all right. Let's see if this works.
Roy said they banned him or something. He can't get on.
I mean, I don't know how you get banned. I just got on this platform. I don't know how you ban somebody on Restream.
Yeah,
I would have to. Yeah. Well,
I think you have to send him a link or something.
All right, I'll send it to him. But yeah.
I haven't
Get back
really
in the
had
group
a lot
chat,
of
man.
with the white groups.
Yeah. It's a different vibe, bro. It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
It's a lot more it's just the black groups are a lot more accepting of men being open about dating trans women and like men specifically dating women in the trans community. They just accept it a lot better. And the white chicks is all about, well, you only want me for this. So it's weird. They're really kind of it's weird that you get some that's just totally cool and centered and don't care, but it's some like it should be goofy because they just a lot of them they come with no experience with men right off top, and it's just like it'd be weird, man. But I have my round in that stuff. I do admin another group with just men and women, and it is a definitely healthy mix. I'm sorry, Roy, I'm gonna send you that link right now, man. Let's see here. So, all right. So, anywho, get to the main topic because this is why the people here they saw the description. They ready. Let me try these guys and see if they shot ready. Yo, you're not in the shot. You gotta put your whole body in it. There we go. All right, so come on in the shot, guys. All right. So anywho, the main topic, the main thing that we was talking about here is I'm sorry, now I'm getting super distracted because the comments and other things are going crazy. But essentially, talk about social media, it's a good way to like, really meet people and all that kind of stuff and conversate with different folks. Because Trail and Mike, we've been all over Clubhouse for a minute. We was on there for a hot minute. It was cool. It was all right in most cases.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. But we moved over from Clubhouse to Twitter Spaces, and so we're on Twitter Spaces. So if y'all, if you watching this, you listening to this, like, yo, fuck with us on Twitter. So Twitter, it's at Men Like Us Pod. I couldn't fit Men Like Us Podcast because there's a character restriction on names, I guess. So yeah, Men Like Us Pod on Twitter. We just have these open forum Twitter spaces where it's just a bunch of people there talking. But one thing that came up that was like a thing for a lot of the girls. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on, let me fix this. That was a thing, and a sticking point for the girls was like, "Yo, what does it matter if your girl passes or not?" They were just like, "Does it matter?" What? And I'll bring Roy in. What's up, Roy? We can't hear you, man. We got nothing here. So we'll leave him there. He'll come. Hopefully the sound will start coming in. But they were just like, "Yo, does it matter if the girl passes or not?" Because they were like wondering, because they're in their minds, there was like, well, that's gonna matter if you want to be seen out in public with these girls. If are you choosing girls based on whether they pass or not? Does it matter? And they were really harping on the point. So I'm gonna just go around and fellas, just give me a simple yes or no on whether a girl's passability matters or not. And for the people that are watching that don't know what that is is, from what I understand it to be, the ability for a woman of trans experience to walk down the street and nobody to see that she is trans. She doesn't stick out. She kind of blends into the background. So that's the way that I understand it. So I'm gonna just go from left to right here. So Mike.
In a relationship, nah, it doesn't matter.
Nope,
Right.
doesn't matter for me.
Nope. Okay. Trail.
Don't matter at all. I got friends, girls don't matter at all.
Okay. Now we're talking about for the girls that you choose to be with. So that don't play a part at all. Okay.
For me, no,
Sammy?
not really, no.
Okay. Sammy?
Yeah, it matters.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Well then, wait, hold on a second. Let's see here. It's not letting me unlock my mic. Huh. Well, Roy, try and come back in again, man. But yeah, so all right. Well, we got one person that says it does, but like, that's where we're at right now. And there's so many people saying no. But here's the thing: like, we've all been on a journey. Everybody, none of us is we haven't always been here, and our tastes and our sensibilities and our sexuality. So, I guess I'll go the opposite round again. I'll just start with Trail on this. But has there been has politics, passability, has that ever affected your actions in the past? Like in terms of whether you in choosing a mate or when you were out with a girl, has that ever affected you at all, ever in your journey?
Well, me personally, no, it never really affected my journey at all. Like my first experience, the girl was passable. Like I tell the story all the time. She looked like Chrisette Michele, the R&B singer, just like her. So it wasn't. I'm not gonna sit here and say that's what I'm used to because that's not what I'm used to. But that's technically what I get all the time. My ex, the only thing that got her looks like a double look because of her height. She's 6'1", so that really got her the looks, whatever. But other than that, like if we're just sitting down somewhere, no looks, no none of that. We're regular. But being with friends and stuff like that, yeah, we get the looks. But like I said before, I'm not there for the way you look. I'm there for the type of person you are. So I never really cared about that. Like a lot of my friends here that live here, they're really tall girls. Some of them are somewhat not passable, whatever. But I don't care about that. I care about the type of person they are. So coming up in this journey, it never. Say that again. What happened?
But I'm asked. All right, so that's what I'm really getting at. Is it was there at any point in time during your journey was that at play?
No.
Okay.
Not really. No.
All right.
A lot of girls will say, "Oh, we see what type of girls you like. No, that type of girls I attract. It's nothing like I like. So, you know, it is what it is. So that never was
Okay.
the problem.
Mike, Corey?
I mean, back in the day when I was a baby transamorous guy, like, you know, when I was new to this shit, like, yeah, passing was a thing that I kind of looked for. But as you grow, you realize that some of the most quote unquote passable girls, you know, might not be the one for you, you know. But, you know, nowadays, you know, just being, I guess, a little bit more mature, it's more about who the person is, not necessarily like all the surgeries or hormones they take and stuff like that.
Well said.
Corey?
For me, you know, it was, you know, passing was never really a factor for me when what attracts me. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Physical attraction, yes, that is needed, and you know, I try to, you know, be with somebody that I'm physically attracted to, of course, but the whole passable, you know, thing never really played a factor to me, because the type of women that I'm physically attracted to, like I love a woman with a beautiful, strong jawline, and you know, typically that can give a woman away. So I didn't really pay attention to the whole passable aspect. So yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I was just essentially, guys, what it is, you know, what I was really trying to get at with a lot of this is, you know, some of the guys, it matters to some, and then some, you know, it used to matter for. And I was one of them, where, you know, when I first was, you know, I guess new in my attraction, whatever you want to call it, but before any of this attractive, transgender stuff came into my life, you know, uh 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 I was, you know, I was like, yo, no, like all I've seen was the girls in these adult films. I've seen the girls in these porn videos. I see the girls on these websites, and that's all I know about trans bodies. And I want that shit, because that shit is hot to me, and I only see beauty in that. And I'm saying, like, didn't even watch porn with the girls who didn't have breast implants. Like, I wouldn't even watch flat chested girls in porn. Like, I didn't do any of that stuff. And so I was so hyper, like, yo, I only want the girls with that, X, Y, and Z. I'm not considering nothing else. She got to be that. And that's where I was. And I think that there are people that start off like that. And I think there are people that grow. And for me, and I'm just speak for me specifically, because I'm not going to, you know, bag on anybody else's preferences or anything like that. What I'm going to speak for is me. And I'm saying, for me, it took me getting into the community, meeting people, learning, growing my knowledge about the community to understand that not all women in the community have those kinds of bodies. Most of them don't, most especially the ones that, you know, we meet out here on the street and whatever else. Like, it just took me learning and understanding that, you know, what was really out there and what's reality versus what was fiction and, you know, porn land. And then also, you know, growing, eventually I just grew to see the beauty in all different kinds of bodies that are in the community. And you know, when I got to that space, and I'm like, that's cool, like I could see the beauty in that girl. She's beautiful. Yeah, she's slim bodied. Yes, she ain't got, you know, the curves that I might typically look for, but she's a beautiful human, and I could like that. Or somebody who is bodied out, or somebody who isn't bodied out but is a little heavier set. Like, I could still, there's all sorts of different body types in this community. And it just took me, it was a journey for me to get to the point where I could see the beauty in lots of different body types in this community. But one of the things I ran into, and y'all tell me if I heard any of this, was once I got to that point and I could see the beauty in some of the body types that didn't have the plastic surgery and the curves and the, you know, bow stuff. I ain't gonna lie, there was a little, it doesn't help you out with every girl in the community. I've had some girls tell me, oh, you like girls that look like that? Oh, so you gay, huh? Oh, you like girls? No, I like real straight men. Real straight men don't like girls that look like that.
Yeah.
Real straight men don't like slim body girls. Real straight men like girls with breast implants and BBLs and all that stuff. So that's what I got eventually. And I'm like, hold on. So because I saw the beauty in your sister, now I don't qualify for you because that's not straight enough? Huh? Even though once upon a time these individuals look just like that.
Oh yeah, they forget where they came from. Always, they always forget where they came from.
It blew me away. It blew me away. But I know this is like a touchy subject, and thank you, Brianna, for the language update. Apparently, it is not passable anymore. It's visibly trans. So update education for everybody. So but essentially, yeah, that was something that did affect me once upon a time. I was that nervous dude looking around like, uh-oh, is anybody? Because I'm sorry, that is just that was a part of my growth, and I'm okay with being transparent and sharing where I came from and how I've grown over the years, but I'm not there right now. Oh my God. Okay. Somebody's playing in my comments. We're talking about BBLs. She's talking about bacon, baked goods, and lots more. Tony Elizabeth, Tony said, do men feel intimidated or feel passable trans girls are too high maintenance to even have a real relationship with?
Nope.
Oh, sorry, let me unmute you, Sam.
No, I don't feel like that. Not at all.
Okay.
I think for me, I guess since I'm the one guy who mentioned that it does matter, my growth was similar to you, Chris.
Yeah.
Just like I got introduced to trans through watching porn, and I wanted girls who looked like that, who had breasts, who had ass, who, didn't have such strong features in their face. They were, not visibly trans, I guess if that's the proper term I'm supposed to use.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I came up with, and I'm kind of still on that because that's just what I like. Like when I lay down with a girl at night, like I want to feel breasts, I want to feel ass, I want to feel all that. I don't mind the maintenance. I've paid for my girlfriends that got laser. I've drove a girl down to Miami to get breast implants. Like I like that. That's what I like. So of course that's, like you say, a preference, but that's just to me, like that's just my my fantasy, or not even my fantasy, just my idea of who I want to be with.
Trump, you were gonna say something?
No, I said no. He said that's his preference. Like that's what he. I mean, that's what he likes. I said I agree. Everybody's entitled to their preference. No matter if you're a man, woman, or child, everybody has their preference, and that's something you have to respect. Especially in this community, you have to respect that. Because I had women even tell me like, "Well, I'm not really into big guys." I didn't get mad. I'm like, "All right, cool." You know what I mean?
Amen.
I can't get mad. You know what I mean?
Everybody got a preference.
Everybody has a preference. Right. I can't get mad. So you can't get mad if a dude want a girl with some breasts, with some ass. You can't get mad. I mean, hey, that's what you like.
Well, but see, here's the thing, though, man. Here's the thing. I'm gonna just be real with it because I feel the same way the other way around as well. But it's just like I'm gonna just be real. We all know where we stack up on a scale of 1 to 10. Motherfucker, if you a 2. If you a 7, if you a 8.
Yeah.
So what happens a lot of times is it's a lot of men who, I'm gonna just be real. It's a lot of men who don't know how to talk to women, who just sloppy, who can't get none. And they have these sky high expectations. And they're like, no, my girl gotta have all these things.
Yep, I know one.
All this junk. Yeah, that guy. But it's just like all this junk. I'm just like, hold on, man. Like, but guys be doing that shit. Like, nigga, you frankly, sir, you don't qualify for that woman. You just don't qualify. Everybody don't qualify for everybody, okay? That's real. And I could say the same to some girls too. There are just some men not every woman qualifies for. And vice versa. So I started that saying I feel the same way both ways around. So with this whole well, no, my girl got to be bad and she can't be visibly trans and none of this junk. Some of the dudes that be saying that junk, I'm looking at them like, bruh, you living in your mom's basement, you don't work. You ain't working on yourself. You ain't building nothing for yourself. You ain't got no purpose.
Nothing. You have nothing
I
going
mean,
on.
you 5'2" and 300 pounds.
Like,
Like, come on, man, what's going on?
Chris is
It'd be the wackest shit, period. Where these dudes be having these crazy, wild expectations and be like, no, she gotta be that. It's like, no, that ain't it, dude. Like, I don't want to say stay within your league like that, but it's really like men gotta have reasonable expectations. You can't just run around saying I only want the Barbie types and I only want this type of girl, whatever type of girl. No.
Or better
But
yet,
you know what?
Got-
On the
got
flip
shot
side of
for
that,
what's in your budget.
for me, the ladies got to get it in line too. Because there's some ladies that don't qualify for some of these men out here, and not everybody qualifies for everybody. Okay? That's
Sure
just
don't.
real motherfucking talk.
Yo, but Chris,
People get mad at me for this. I'm just telling the truth.
I know, but also, how about this one too? Like this goes for both the women and the men. Yeah, it's good to look at somebody and be pleasured, like through your visuals and everything like that. Like you're looking at somebody who you think is the best thing since sliced bread. But have a conversation with the person, like a legit conversation, because a lot of times you could be looking at somebody and you love how they look, but when you get to know the person, there's nothing there. Like there's no connection.
Yeah,
Nothing.
there's definitely an all flash and no substance thing.
Yeah, Chris, me and you actually talked about that a little bit the other day about that one girl you were talking about her OnlyFans.
Oh my God, what a mess!
Yeah.
What a mess!
Yeah.
But this we don't gripe about that on the public platform. Y'all hear about the OnlyFans stuff on the Patreon, so you got to pay to hear the real. But I wanted to get into this because it's like, do men feel intimidated by the high maintenance girls, whatever else? And for me, that I just want to answer that myself, and I would just say, really, it's a no. But for me, it's about where you at in your life. You can be the same look. You can have the same look and be the girl that's all about her Instagram, her OnlyFans, being that bad bitch, trying to be some Cardi B clone, all that junk. You can be all of those things and have the same look, but that same looking girl who has a different mentality and is about, just working, securing something for her future, serious minded about whatever. Those are the things that I value specifically, but that's just Chris. But I don't want somebody consumed with a whole bunch of superficial stuff. So it isn't for me. It's not about the looks that draw me away. It's the mentality.
Yep.
What'd you say, bro?
Yep. I said you can be high maintenance or quote unquote one of those uppity people, but be a good person on the inside. Like you said, it's about that relationship or that that communication you and that person have. Of course, the outside world may look at it like, dang, she need this. Her hair got to be done, nails, all this. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Get to know the person, like Mike mentioned. Okay, now we got something we can build on. But if it's just all about looks, I think you're gonna be doomed for failure anyway. If that's the only thing that you're gonna attach yourself to.
Real talk. I think it's about building your inside, really, man. And in that conversation we was having, all the men, we was all saying no. Like, being visibly trans or not doesn't matter to us. What matters is how you carry yourself. One of the dudes was, my nigga Savage though. One of the dudes was like, yo, it's all about act right. You got some act right, we good. If you don't, I'm gonna leave you at the restaurant. And he legit was telling stories about how he took a girl out to an expensive restaurant in New York and she just didn't know how to act there. She was being rude to waiters. It was just he just walked up and he just got up and left her. Sitting right there in that restaurant.
The question though, this is the part that really makes or breaks whether or not he's a savage. Now, did he do that and go to the thing and pay for his meal first and then leave, or did he leave her with the whole bill?
I don't know. I'm gonna ask him next time. We all know him, but we ain't gonna bust his name out here.
Right.
But man, I'm gonna ask him though. Because this dude is he be I would believe that he did, but if he said he did, I'd be like tracks. But somebody asked a question. Drive 18 wheelers. Hey, all right, truckers come through. Hey, truckers get paid.
Damn sure do.
Hit me up.
Tracy had
Tracy,
asked.
hey.
Oh, you know Tracy?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, I'm like, okay. Hey, we all know people in here, so I know Brianna and somebody was tagging Claudette and Miko. I don't know them I know Claude. I've had a conversation with Claudette, but I don't think I know Miko. But G Mike up in here, Roy. But yeah, no. Tracy asks, "What is high maintenance, though? Like, fellas, what do y'all consider high maintenance? Because the question is about a girl who's high maintenance, but to be honest, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all go ahead. I shouldn't be answering. So, Trail, what is high maintenance in your mind?
In my mind, high maintenance is a girl that looks good and she's used to a life of things, men giving her things and stuff like that. Every man that she dealt with gave her, bought her things and took care of her, shit like that. That's high maintenance. That's high maintenance to me. But me personally, that's not really high maintenance. It's to me, it's how you say, enabling a person, letting them have whatever they want and let it instead of them working for it. You know what I mean? But that's what high maintenance is. They so used to guys giving them shit. Just because. You know what I mean?
Sammy?
Me, that I'm not taking care of no period.
Sammy, what in your mind? What's high maintenance? Since somebody asked, what is high maintenance?
I guess to me, high maintenance would be like, of course, like maintaining yourself. So for some people, it's just the number of times you got to get your nails did, hair did, how many times you got to buy something new, or the type of food you got to eat. You can't go eat a 4 for $4. You got to get your meal got to be 20 and up every time, or
4 for 4,
or exactly, like spoil. You know what I'm saying? But the thing, like Trail mentioned, I think to me that's a woman's, not necessarily a man has established that for her, but it's just like if she's got that for herself and she maintains it, I wouldn't consider that high maintenance because obviously she can maintain it. So I guess my thing, like high maintenance to me would be if you're trying to go beyond your means, like you're trying to do extra on top of that. Then now you being high maintenance. If you just maintain yourself to the standard that you was raised and you been at and you hold yourself to, then that's fine. But if you're trying to do more than that, then you high maintenance. You're doing too much, then I can't keep
it. Okay. Mike and Corey, y'all have any additions to the definition of high maintenance?
So the question is, what do we define as high maintenance? That's what the question is, right?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell a personal story on this one. What taught me the definition of high maintenance. I was once with this girl where she not only did she have like a lot of, I guess, physical maintenance, like she would take like hours and hours just to get ready to go out, but a lot of emotional maintenance too. Like I'd have to be up with her on several times a week. We had to be up for hours at a time, or a couple hours at a time, for her to talk about her emotional stuff. Which I mean, it was good. What you're supposed to do as a couple, but like all the time, like if somebody said something just a little bit sideways, it would derail her, and we'd have to have like an hour-long talk about.
She turned you into her therapist.
Essentially,
is that what happened? You were her therapist. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Brianna added something in here I wanted to get in real quick. Brianna said high maintenance women can get them things for themselves though, and I think we're all pretty much. Sorry, Mike. I just wanted to get that in here, but know you're feeling left out, man. We'll get back to you though. But really, I think it's a consensus here that is it really high maintenance if she paying it for herself? Like, is it really high maintenance if she getting it herself and the man don't have to put any energy into maintaining her?
That's not what we're talking about.
Like I appreciate the high level of effort and high level of energy she puts into her look, to, you know, from the skin treatments to getting their hair done, nails done, whatever else, all that stuff. Like, you know, we can definitely appreciate that. Now, here's the thing. I'm not against putting in on it, though, because if I say, yo, I want you to have your nails done, whatever else, I'll put something on it. I mean, I pay the whole bill, but I could put something on it.
But
especially if you want to get my initials. Hell yeah, I'm paying for it.
Initials.
My initials, baby, I'm paying for it.
Oh shit. So I'm sorry, y'all. We kind of with oh wait. I feel my bad. Let me get Claudette in here real quick, Mike. And then we're gonna get to you, bro. I just gotta get Claudette up in here. Oh, and then yes. So she says, I kind of feel like high maintenance is how one keeps herself together. Examples are packages and nail salons. She'd get the most expensive in some cases, just all around seeks and does the best of the best. And like, yo, I think men love that. We good with it. I just think we're not interested in in a mandatory bill to be with somebody. Like if to be in a relationship with somebody, there's a bill attached to that, then I think a lot of men would say they're not interested or would not be interested in consistently paying, $400 or $500-$600 a month for, the girl. And I know it costs more than that for some girls. I know a lot of y'all real beautiful, and I know it costs a whole lot more than $500-$600. But even adding that a month, would not be in the wheelhouse for a lot of men, especially the men who earn. And Brianna's right. The man should match up with her, and that's what the good book says. Being evenly yoked and all that. So can't have no high maintenance girl with this, but the brother ain't got his haircut and shit. So that ain't gonna work either. I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead, bro.
But that's not the same as what we're talking about. Like when we say high maintenance, we're not talking about the girl that can go ahead and do it herself, or that, since I'm her man, I'm gonna chip in part of the bill with her for that. Like that's not high maintenance. That's either she 100% got it herself, or it's a relationship where you're going 50-50. Now, when I say high maintenance or whatever, what I'm talking about is those spoiled little brats that, not that they can't do for themselves, but they refuse to do for themselves because they think that their look should just earn them a paycheck off jump.
There you go.
Okay, that's the thing.
Because here's the thing. If I enter a relationship with you, I'm not your employer, I'm your man.
And that's from a guy who's engaged.
Yes.
Just want to note that before people jump in and attack.
He got the qualifications.
Yeah, he's engaged. So that don't people are like, please, he ain't hearing from you because you ain't got no woman anyways. He does. Actually, 3 of the 5 of us are in relationships here, but that's notwithstanding. I don't know why that needs to be like a thing to be credible to some women, but it is. It's like, but you're single, so why are we listening to you? It's like that really shouldn't matter.
I've actually had a hater hit me up who was actually hating on you, Chris.
Yeah.
And Troy, talking about most of those men who give advice and whatnot, none of them are in relationships. Da, 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay.
What does that mean? What does that mean? So that don't mean nothing.
I had somebody do the same thing with me, talking about you, Chris and Trey. They was trying to bash. I was like, hold on now. Whoa, Charlie.
Look, I'm gonna just be real. To some individuals out there, the fact that men stand up and speak and are heard and seen is a problem. Period.
Yeah.
There's just some individuals who are just flat out just triggered by men off top, and that's okay. That's just who and what they are. You just have to be able to identify that and understand that that's where they're coming from, and it isn't really from a place of like, oh, I understand. And I truly disagree. It's just like, no, there's something that disturbs my soul about the fact these men is trying to have their own platform and trying to talk. Like it's a lot of them. You just have to figure out how to understand it. Just like, all right, well, it took me a while. I didn't understand that some women are legit triggered by men and they just can't coexist in spaces with men because it's all
they should be able to
toxicity.
Write and hand it to us. And should say whatever it says on it, right?
That would be funny. That would be funny. That would be funny.
Because this is what you
But
need to
Shay,
say. You say this.
And see.
absolutely. But yo, I appreciate all the ladies and the brothers who are watching this and that's really fucking with us right now. So, I appreciate y'all. The comments is flying in from all the different platforms that we're on right now. We're streaming to 4 different sites right now. So, I appreciate y'all though. And I wanted to get to something to what Shay had a question. Shay just said, how do you feel about women that don't act feminine? I have come across some girls, white trans pages that talk down about those of us that are feminine and want to be, quote, normal. I'm assuming traditional, fulfill traditional gender roles.
Gotcha.
So how do y'all feel about women who don't act feminine? And to clarify for this, it isn't people sitting here saying, oh, that's a man, this, and this. I think what it really comes down to is, how people, the energy they give off, the energy they give off, their mindset, but it isn't attacking saying, oh, you're a man, this, and this. A woman could be, somebody who's highly combative and aggressive, or, typically people would assign a masculine trait to the woman that wants to be the head of the household. She want to be, head nigga in charge. Like, nah, fuck that. I ain't listening to you. Ain't no man gonna lead me. This is like that kind of junk. And there are some women's like, yo, I want to be the woman in the relationship. And to me, being the woman in the relationship means I trust my man to lead, and I don't try to overtalk him, or I don't try to compete with him, or I don't try to match or overtake his energy. And there are just some people that are like that. And there is a lot of the other girls, and this transcends the trans community. This is just a thing, period. But y'all have heard of the term "pick me," right?
Mm-hmm.
What?
They invent that term for women who say, "Hey, I'm not actually here to fight men. I'm here to. I actually understand them a little bit, and I could be sympathetic or amenable to some of their thoughts and decision making. Like, I'm not here to. They're not my enemy." And I've seen girls get labeled with, "Oh, she just a pick me because she just trying to put up with these men's, whatever." So I don't know. I'm sorry, that's a whole fucking just all these things. But I don't know who got any thoughts on this question, because I took it off.
Yeah, if it's how you're describing it, it really depends on the approach with it, I guess. Like, I mean, if the woman has the opportunity to be making the bread in the household, like she got the opportunity where she's getting that like 6 figures a year, whatever, and you're the guy that's out there, you haven't received that opportunity to do so, then whatever. I mean, let her be the head of the household, as long as the both of you are still, in it together to, be, in a successful relationship. But if it's like the woman is just like, being aggressive or whatever, and is like, nah, I gotta control this, I gotta control it, then it can be an issue.
Anybody else have any thoughts on this question?
Oh yeah,
Before we move on,
I understand what they be saying, but I mean, feminine. Like I said, man, I love a woman to be a woman. I mean, that's what I'm attracted to. If she can't be a woman, I can't rock with her. And
well, that's traditional woman. That
right,
doesn't mean she's not a woman.
Right. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's what I'm into. You know what I mean? That's what I'm attracted to. I'm not attracted to a woman that gotta take charge and everything, gotta lead with everything. Feel like that she don't need my help in anything. That's that. I don't feel that. You feel me? But it is what it is.
I got something to say on that second part where she says that these women, they talk down about us that are feminine and whatnot. Like, certain people just need to master the art of like not giving a fuck. Like, stop trying to control other people. Stop trying to tell people how to live their lives. Like, focus on you and just not give a fuck about trying to control people. Live your own life and do what you want to do what you need to do, and just not give a fuck about somebody else and try and fuck with their business. Like focus on yours, you know? That's, you know, my answer to that, you know?
Yeah, the respectability politics is definitely a thing here. I'm sorry, when it comes to, you know, worrying about what other people are doing and trying to police that. But I do want to take one more question. I think this is going to take us to the end of the show because I do think this is something that everyone can talk on. And actually, we'll show Robert because, you know, got to show the brother some love. What up, boy? Robert said on the title, I personally don't care about passability. I care about being attracted to them. No, there are girls who are very passable that I wouldn't be able to date because I'm not attracted to them and vice versa. Fair enough. You're attracted to who you're attracted to. And that shit changes over time. You know, you got a type now and you may have a different type. You may be in a, so, you know, that does change. It doesn't ever just sit. But I will, Claudette asked the good question, fellas. So y'all gonna give her some answers and tell the motherfucking truth. So, all right. Why don't we're gonna start out with the first part of this. She says, for everybody, what is a man's responsibility to his woman? And we'll start out with the engaged guy.
A man's responsibility to his woman is to provide her healthy love, not toxic. Also to provide her with security as far as like, you know, making sure that she feels safe with you, as opposed to being in a relationship where she constantly has to question you all the time. Because to be honest with you, there are women out there that they get into relationships, not saying it's anybody's fault whether they chose the wrong person or not, but they get into relationships where, you know, they think everything's hunky-dory at first, and then all of a sudden they feel like they have to be questioning where their spouse or partner or whatever the case is going, what they're doing, or if they're going to cause her any harm. So making sure that she feels comfortable with you to the point where she doesn't have to pretend, you know, she can be herself with you. She can, you know, be open and honest with you when she feels a certain type of way about something, you know, like whatever the case is, she doesn't feel like it's all got to be, you know, walking on, like walking on glass, like, you know, like that she's got to protect herself all
the time. Brianna, we're doing that on a different show.
Oh, that man, I love that question.
No, we're doing that on a different show. We're doing that on a different show, Brianna. That ain't the show. Y'all can't see the comments. We ain't doing that today. We're doing it.
I'm gonna tell you something, Brianna.
We're doing it. It's gonna happen. But we got about like a solid 8-9 minutes before we close out here. But it's coming, Brianna. Trust me. I'm recruiting right now. Brianna's asking about sexual questions. We're gonna talk sex, and it's gonna be a lot of guys. It's gonna be a long show, but we gonna talk sex. Man, so it's gonna happen.
Answer Brianna question now.
Nah. We ain't got time for that, man. We do it next week. Next week. We'll do it next week.
Oh shit!
All right. Dang. Throwing grenades in the show like
that. Everybody distracted now.
I know, right? It's always that's how it is. We're humans. That's just what it is. But Sam, you got any thoughts on this?
I kind of
on Claudette's question.
Yeah, I piggyback on what Mike said. I think it's about loving her, protecting her, providing for her. You know, giving her a place to feel secure. You know, I feel like those are the main responsibilities. So, you know, I think it's pretty simple. You know, like I say, love, protect, provide, and secure. You know, so I mean, it's pretty easy with me. I don't think it's relationships to me shouldn't be too complicated. So I think responsibility is pretty much the same on both sides. It just can we find that place in the middle where we're gonna be happy.
Yo, man, when the shit is right, it ain't complicated at all.
Exactly.
It ain't, man. When you feeling that shit, and y'all y'all are both dedicated to honoring each other and respecting each other and really seeing and accepting each other for who they are, like it's easy, man. It is just easy. And I'm just speaking from experience. Like I'm in it now. It's just easy. So it's easier than any other situation, because let's be real. When some people get together, they have to learn, like you talking and getting to know each other so that you can learn to tolerate each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
That's how it happens in a lot of cases. What you say, bro?
That's not a real relationship when you have to do that.
Exactly, but a lot of people they don't want to turn around, they don't want to stop. They don't want to let it go.
So I'd like to add to that point some more.
Yes, sir.
So I'm pretty much in agreement with everybody here who's commented on that. Like, to protect her, love her, all this good stuff. But at the same time, I believe that the responsibility should be up to the man and the woman, or the two significant others, of whose role is in the relationship. You know what I mean? Like we just talked about earlier, some women who are like the dominant one. So I mean, if that's the way you want to roll with it, fuck it, roll with it. Do you, I mean, shit, So,
I
but
mean,
that's. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's different people for. That's why it's so many different kinds of people. There's a man out there for that woman.
There has to be an agreement in between two people of like what we are, who we are, how we doing this. So that's all I wanted to add.
Yeah. For me, I don't really look at the providing part like that in that way, because I'm gonna be real. In 2022, hey, you gotta have loot for your woman not to work. Period. You better be out there on that corner selling them drugs, or running that football down the field or something. Because like to have loot to afford a whole nother human, it's difficult even for men. I'll say it like this. I'm pretty good in terms of a salary, but it was still a stressor for me to afford somebody else's all their food, all clothes, whatever, all these different things. It still put a stress on my monthly budget. Absolutely did. And that's not from a broke guy or anything like that, but it is a lot. So I mean, that whole providing, like that old school traditional, I got to provide and bring home the bacon and all that stuff. I just don't think that's completely necessary for each of you to still fall into traditional roles with how you operate in the house or operate in a relationship.
Me personally, I don't mind providing though. I don't mind like providing a roof over your head. I don't mind providing that at all. But when it comes to like you wanting to look nice, that's on you, baby.
No, that's part of providing, bro.
Nice thing, that's
part
on
you. That traditional providing is you're paying for literally everything in that woman's life. So you're not buying into the full idea of it if you say, well, the line is here and you only get this. Then you're not doing it. And not in the way that people are talking about. So that's all the shoes, all the bags, all the whatevers, all that stuff. You got to cover it. When people talking about this traditional providing, that's what they mean. Like,
but I new age providing.
I think what I'm saying is I think there's a way for both sides to contribute to the household financially without it turning into, now that we both work, I fulfill the same role in the house that you do. I bring the same energy into the house that you do. There are women that don't mind. Okay, we're both contributing financially, but I'm still going to lay back and I'm still going to allow my man to lead my household and thinking things in a certain terms. There are women out there that are like that. Obviously, not everybody is like that. And I'm not saying that's the right way and the only way to be, because there's some dope women out there who, hey, look, they are forces to be reckoned with, just like the ones, who choose, because that's what people choose, to fulfill whatever role they want to in their house. But you know, there's somebody out there for everybody, really. And I know we
Man,
kind of talked around some things. I hope the answers that we were given to some of these questions are, you know, suitable. I know everybody is chiming in, and I appreciate y'all for commenting. I'm sorry, Mike. You go ahead, man.
Bottom line, money doesn't solve problems. It only alleviates concerns.
For sure. And I wanna show. You're right. You're right. It does. I mean, it doesn't do everything. But you know, most Americans are poor, so we value that
Yeah,
shit quite a bit.
yeah. Most Americans are poor because money is a momentary thing. You have it now, it's gone later. You try to make more of it.
Well, that's not completely. Come on now.
Unless
Come
you're a
on
billionaire.
now.
Unless
Yeah, there's
you're
a
a
very
billionaire.
small percentage of the world's population that holds like a large majority of the wealth. We're poor.
I can't even
Yeah,
get to
like,
them.
but you know, shout out to
Motherfucker.
Kanisha.
That's right, Tanisha. Invest in your man.
Shout out to Kanisha. You know, that's homie. But that's the thing. It's like when everything's reciprocal and both people care equally, like they both trying to pour into each other, they both give a damn in that way. Like you just gotta have enough want to, gotta have enough give a damn. You'll make it work. But you know, it does have to be both people just pouring into each other. And it's women like my sister is one of these girls where my sister got her stuff together, opening up her own. She's been a high end makeup artist for a while. She's opening up a whole school or whatever else, and her boyfriend is a dude that he's trying to get some things together and he's starting up things, but like essentially what she's doing, he's pouring into her, helping her give ideas on her business, but then conversely, she's pushing him like, all right, well, cool. Well, we both gonna come up and now you're gonna go to get your culinary degree and stuff, and like they're working on it together, but that financial gap doesn't mean that they don't care about each other, and they're not like they're still giving to each other even though the financial disparity is like this. So I see situations like that where it's like they're gonna make it. But anywho, we went over time. But yo, Shay, hold on a second. I want to shout Shay, Jordan, Brianna. We gonna get to the sex talk. We gonna come back and we gonna do it. And I'm gonna have more fellas here. We're gonna have some more voices, and we ain't gonna worry about no damn respectability politics. We just gonna tell the truth as it is and let people just accept that shit. I might even turn the comments off. We'll see. So we gonna be talking all the ish, and we just gonna keep it real.
So is the name of that episode gonna be "All I Want to Do Is Gonna Zoom, 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 and a Boom, Boom"?
So, anyway, look, ladies, wait. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna be on the Patreon or not. I feel like it should be on the Patreon, but we'll discuss. Because some of I've been having conversations. We've been recording stuff, and that stuff does go on the Patreon. And I may release small preview clips. I'm learning a thing or two from the girls on Twitter. Release small preview clips to draw people in to actually check out the full content. So, ladies, you're teaching us, and the men are learning. We're learning from y'all. So,
hey, the 130 clips we made.
Come check me on my OnlyFans on Patreon. Get the full video here.
30 seconds and mini clips we work.
There you go. We might need it. Hey, professional marketing.
Yo, if you want to hear that sexual conversation, you got to come up off that coin.
Oh, not the coin.
Tell him, Mike.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Jordan. Jordan, I'm not gonna turn it off because I mean y'all gonna have all the questions in the world, so I'm here for it. It's gonna be messy and we just gonna be grimy because what? It's just fun. Let's just do it. So we don't talk sex on these shows because a lot of times these trans-attracted, transamorous men, we stay away from the topic of sex because the community is so hypersensitive to men being sexually into trans women. So everybody's trying to run away from the chaser title. Nobody wants to be called the chaser. And because chaser is like such this evil fucking term. Give me 1 second.
Everybody
evil
say something.
fucking term, you know, it's the boogeyman, you know, of the community and shit. So it's like, you know, in order to avoid that, in order to avoid being able to chase her, we don't talk about that junk much, because if we start off, if we lead with sex, then here come the next thing. Oh, see, all they care about is sex. They don't even like us really. This and this, all this other, because it's always some motherfucker talking some bullshit. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. But you know,
I hate it too, Claudette.
it is what
Claudette
it
said
is.
she hate the term chase. I hate it too. Oh,
Yes, and I apologize to my viewers for actually using that word, because we don't validate that term on this platform. But yo, Jordan, we gonna do it. Brianna, we gonna do it. And Brianna, I heard you. Brianna requested this the sex talk. She requested that on the Twitter Spaces earlier this week. So I do aim to, you know, to make it happen. So, all right. Well, I guess that's really, we just gonna end it right there. So come back next week and we gonna have that sex talk, and it's gonna get real. It's gonna get dirty. YouTube is probably gonna pull the stream down because they ain't gonna want to hear all that junk. It's gonna be a mess. So
$100 per hour.
yeah, right. Bring the bail money to get me out of Facebook jail.
Per person.
No.
$2 drink minimum. No, I'm sorry, 2 drink minimum, not $2. A 2 drink minimum for next week's stream. So we'll do it on the public platform.
We'll be on Friday.
But it'll probably come down right after we get done stream. You're gonna have to, if you want to watch it. If you don't catch it live, you're gonna have to watch it on Patreon. So there's a happy medium. So anyway, we'll catch y'all next week. We'll be back with that crazy talk. All right.